Have you been thinking about writing a book, or maybe somebody has told you you should write a book because you have so much knowledge and expertise in your field? Well, writing a book can be your top branding tool. It can really set you apart and bring prospects to you already pre-warmed to want to work with you. I've done it 3 times in 3 different businesses. So let me share with you how you can use your book and build your brand and have prospects coming to you pre-sold. Let's start with what a brand is. The founder of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, put it this way: your brand is what other people say about you when you're not in the room. It's the reputation. Now, a lot of people think it's the color, your brand color, it's a logo, it's your shapes, it's your tagline. Really, it is all of those things together that create your reputation, what you stand for, who you are. A book can do that brilliantly for you. Brand building is often also misunderstood. Let's have a look at the De Beers Diamond Company. A diamond is forever. Their tagline since 1948 has built their brand. Brand building is generating awareness about you and your business. Again, a book is the perfect tool to do so. Your book can be available globally to an audience right around the world. So your brand, spreading that, is quite simple these days, particularly. It won't take you a century to build your brand with a book. What do you think is the #1 branding tool? Now, the Hinge Marketing Research Company did some research into this. They put this question to coaches, consultants, and entrepreneurs. Is it keynote presentation? Is it publishing a book? Is it your personal blog? Email marketing campaign? What is it? This is the poll that they did, and the outcome they achieved was that from the 845 participants, 42% said the most impactful personal branding tool is your personal blog, and #2 came in as publishing a book. So this is what the poll established. But when we are measuring the data on the impact achieved, publishing a book is #1. That is the most impactful branding tool. Speaking is #2, and making the right connections is #3. But definitely publishing a book brings you in at #1. Now, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I've already alluded to the 3 books that I have written. I have been in marketing, first and foremost, since the days where we used physical scissors and glue to cut and paste. Now, I had my first business, a diamond jewelry business, and I built that purely with marketing. I had no industry knowledge whatsoever. Marketing was how I built that business and was able to sell it at a time when other jewelers here in Australia were not able to sell their businesses at all. Successfully selling that, I bought Brisbane Office Supplies, another business where I had no industry knowledge, but I knew marketing. Now, that one I built much faster than the first one, and I sold it for 3 times what I bought it for. From all that experience, I discovered that there's a lot of people in business that don't know how to work with their teams, with their staff, with their employees. And so I wrote my very first book to establish myself as a consultant on practical steps to find and keep great staff. That book, published in the first week, achieved 5 high-ticket contracts, consulting contracts for me. And I discovered in that consulting role that those businesses had virtually no marketing in place. They wanted their people, their staff, to do things that they had no framework for them in place. So I started Sticky Beak Marketing, my marketing agency, and the book, The Secret of Marketing a Business Like Yours, established me in that business and got me clients pre-warmed. My third one is the Build a Book to Build a Business. So that is my experience. That is what I'm coming to you from. The branding triangle, these are the three things that we said we've established through data marketing research. The book is the number one branding tool. Speaking and connecting are number 2 and number 3. I want to share a couple of examples with you, what that looks like with a book in hand. Here is Ellie. She had a personal experience with too much dieting, how that not gave her the results. She threw all of that out of the window. She wrote her book, Stop Dieting, Start Living, created her program. She is consulting to companies, to businesses, so staff are well, staff live well, feel well, and eat better, so they don't have to take a lot of time off. She created that and branded herself as the Stop Dieting and Start Living coach. We have here Carol. She comes from a surgery background. Her husband is a surgeon, a bariatric surgeon. Her experience there led her to write her book, 5 Profit Engines of a Successful Bariatric Surgery Practice. She now builds practices. She is a consultant and a coach to weight loss practices and helps them build it. Her book, she's branded herself with that book to be that business builder. We have Ed Rush here. He's coming from an actual military or a fighter pilot background, and he got himself into speaking and coaching. He is an executive coach and used his books to really create his brand around being the top coach in his field of executive coaching. We have got Shanna Landhold. She has established herself from HR, from a recruiter, to being the top recruiter, how to recruit on LinkedIn. Her various books are very specific to different areas in her field of expertise. So branding yourself with a book is the top way to get yourself known, to be out there, and to share your expertise and your authority globally. Now, my framework formula, what this is all about? My framework formula is really straightforward, really simple. We start with what is the outcome in mind. What is the outcome that you want to achieve with their book? Getting clarity on that shows us who the book will be for, who's going to read that book. Knowing who the book will be read by shows us what the book title is going to have to be. And the book title determines what the chapters that are going into the book need to be about. So the formula is having the outcome in mind really clearly shows us who the reader will be, shows us what the book title needs to be, and shows us what the book chapters are going to have to be. So the content of the book. You can start writing after that. It is that simple. So check out further down on this page here, where I am sharing those simple steps for you, and you can take away from it and get started. Now, the reason so many books don't work for people is simply that they never thought about what they wanted the book to do for them, and they followed the traditional writing, publishing, and marketing path, which is designed for novelists, fiction writers, and people which already have a famous name. But you want to achieve that famous name with your book. Therefore, you need to walk this path of writing, publishing, and marketing your book from a different direction. And that is what I primarily help my clients with, knowing and showing you the path step by step to achieve the outcome that you have in mind. I've shown you, I've done it first, I've done it 3 times for myself, for my own businesses, and that is what the framework is built on. I have since worked for more than 800 coaches, consultants, and other experts. I hope that this information helps you. And if you want my help to take you through the steps in the right order and to achieve a predictable outcome that you have in mind with your book, simply PM me and we will have a chat to see if you are a good fit for this program.